incredible new images of tornadoes churning on the ground in Florida ahead of Milton's landfall just a few hours from now. FEMA says they are ready to respond. And with that, we bring in the FEMA administrator, Deanne Criswell. Administrator Criswell, welcome. Thank you very much for your time. I know you guys are very busy these days. You've had just back-to-back really difficult environments to work in. So we are all pulling for you to be able to help the people on the ground. I was watching Steve Harrigan a little while ago, our reporter in Tampa, and he was pointing to a nursing home. And that is one of the scariest things about this. Do you feel confident that the nursing home people have been able to be evacuated ahead of this?
Martha, I was in Tampa on Monday and I met with the mayor of Tampa. And she expressed her confidence that those that were vulnerable to this storm, that they were going to be moved to safety. I don't have the specifics, obviously, of the nursing home that you're talking about. But one of the things that we have done to make sure we can support her and the rest of Florida is we've moved in over 1,200 search and rescue personnel with helicopters, boats, and high water vehicles. So if there is anybody that didn't get out and that is in harm's way, we can begin to augment the incredible response that Governor DeSantis has put together for search and rescue and help get people to safety.
So obviously, Florida is very different from Western North Carolina, and I don't think anybody expected these mountainous regions to be in such desperate need of help. There was a piece in The Guardian today by Morgan Sykes, who's an Asheville, North Carolina resident, and the headline is, "We're still finding dead neighbors in North Carolina. We need help." He says at least 227 people have died, and the toll is getting higher. The rivers are giving up the dead. Landslides are yielding corpses. He goes on to say that nothing compares to the rage he feels for the lives lost and those displaced and those struggling to get too few services and a governmental response that has seemingly prioritized the most privileged. What do you say to Morgan Sykes in Asheville about that?
So I just left a press conference with the governor, and they reported that the number of confirmed fatalities across Western North Carolina right now is 88. And my heart goes out to all of those families that have lost loved ones. And we know that they're still working through a list of unaccounted for. And it's even harder sometimes when you don't know. But the Governor Cooper and his team are working hard to make sure that they can get that list whittled down, and they can identify and account for everybody that was in the storm's path. Martha, we've been on the ground since before the storm happened, and just because somebody didn't see a person in a FEMA shirt doesn't mean that they weren't getting support. This is a true whole of community response. It requires the response from not just my agency, but the resources we've brought in from across the federal government, but the incredible support and work of the first responders that were on the ground, the National Guardsmen that were there before the storm hit. We all work together to make sure we're reaching all of these communities. No one agency, from the local, the state, or the federal, can do this alone. It takes all of us to make sure we're meeting everybody where they're at, to get them the assistance that they need and they deserve.
And we all appreciate all of these different entities, the private and the public, that are going in to help, and the volunteers and the community helpers on the ground who've done an extraordinary job. I want to ask you about this report that there are staffing shortages at FEMA. And that this report came out Monday morning that just 9% of FEMA's personnel, or 1,217 people, are available to respond to the hurricane or other disasters, according to your agency briefing. So it used to be that there was like a quarter of the entire group available to be dispatched to these, but now it's only 9%. What happened there?
Yeah, Martha, this has been an incredibly busy year. I have over 100 different disasters that are open across the U.S. supporting recovery efforts. But we have a layered staffing approach. And the article that was in the New York Times that reported that they were looking at the numbers on our daily operations brief, and that is a focus of our disaster-specific staffing. But through our layered approach and how we plan for this, we can reach out across our federal agency itself, across FEMA, to bring people in that isn't their primary job, to augment the work that we're doing. But we also then have the access of all of the people across the Department of Homeland Security in our surge capacity force. We reach out to the federal government, the other federal agencies.
So
that
you have
also
enough
come in.
people.
I'm not saying that this is going to be easy, Martha, but we've done this before. You know, we've managed multiple incidents at once, like in 2017 with Harvey, Irma, and Maria. We know how to do this. We plan for this. We're ready for this, and we are going to make sure we meet everybody's needs.
Let me ask you one question about that, because I looked at the budget, the FEMA budget, which has steadily risen every year. And now we're hearing that, that you have enough money for right now, but that you might have to go back to Congress December, January. So even from 2021 to 2025, you have $7 billion more at your disposal. So what's going on? I mean, why is that not enough money that's in your budget when it goes up every single year?
Well, if you look at 2021, Martha, the biggest piece of that is the amount that we were providing to support COVID-19. We had a major disaster declaration in every state, every territory, and 5 tribes.
But let's compare it to 2017, the year that you mentioned, which is the biggest hurricane year that we've had in a long time. So now there's so much more funding in 2024 than there was in 2017. So why is that still not enough to get the job done?
Yeah, again, the biggest difference, 2017 is before COVID-19. The biggest increase in the cost and the tap on the disaster relief fund is COVID-19, but it's also the increase in the number of disasters. There's more, they're more complicated, they're more expensive recoveries to help these communities, and we continue to see more and more. I have over 100 open disaster declarations right now. We don't ever have that many, and that number continues to rise because of the extreme weather events that we're seeing across the nation. All
right. Well, good luck to you. Administrator Criswell, thank you very much for joining me today. There's a lot of questions out there about all of this, but we really want people to be safe and taken care of. We know that you all are working on that, so I want to thank you for being here today.
Thanks, Martha.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.